hip cars, warming up those hips, getting that blood pumping, getting the hips moving nice and smooth. Let's do it. I don't know why I decided to have a candy a couple minutes ago. I thought it would be finished by now, but if you're hearing some clanking or my pronunciation is a little bit weird, I have like a throat lozenge type thing. Halls? Cool. All right, let's do this. Hip cars, high knee, open up, rotate that hip so that the ankle is up. Sorry, not rotate the hip, rotate the leg in that hip so that the ankle is up, and then bring the leg down and back. Feel that knee going as far back as you can without throwing your hips all the way back, and flex that hamstring, flex that glute. Feel the stretch in the hip flexor. Whew, that is one rep. Let's do 10 of these on the left side, 10 of these on the right side. These are all about strengthening your muscles in the hip, making sure that you can move really well in the range of motion that your hip is designed to have. And so I want you to focus on trying to lift that knee as high as possible. Open that leg up as wide as possible. Keep the knee high. Rotate the ankle. Maybe even bring the ankle higher than the knee. And then bring the leg down and back. Really trying to kick behind you. Cool? Whew. And if you feel like you can't, it's not possible, there's no more room to do all those things. You know, there's my knee, right? Me lifting it myself, right? But if we pull that knee with some extra power from the side, there's totally some range of motion here that our muscles can't get into by themselves. And with a little bit of help, we can get into. And that's the same for all of this, right? If I'm facing you, I'm trying to keep the knee high, give this a little bit of a lift, my ankle can come up. If I open up this way, if I push a little bit, oh, my hip cracked. We can open up the hip a little bit more, and even more so for this stuff back here. If you've seen some crazy dancer moves, doing their stretches, and the yoga people doing their forward thingamajigga with the leg in the back of their hands, I don't know what those are called, then you know that the body is capable of a whole bunch of stuff, and we just need the strength and the mobility to go ahead and control it. So that's what we're here to do. Do a little bit of work to make sure we have strength and control. All right, that was a long tangent. High knee, open, ankle, down and back. 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 High knee, open, off balance, ankle, down and back. High knee, open, ankle, down and back. High knee, open, ankle, down and back. I think we have done like 10. I think we can call it here. Oh, okay. That's one side. Check it out. Do a little wiggle, do a little dance, and let's continue. High knee, open, ankle, down and back. 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 Take some nice deep breaths if you're tired. Focus on that end range of motion. Really contract those muscles. Lift that knee. Open it wide. Keep that ankle real high. And flex those glutes. Flex those hamstrings. Feel that stretch in the hip flexor when your knee goes back. I think we've done, 7. Let's wrap this up. 8. 9. 10. All right, hip curls going forward. Take a second, shake out the legs, especially if you are tired. If you did them a little bit slower today, and they're taking a little bit more energy. All right, let's do them in reverse. We're bringing the leg back first. Make sure this knee is coming behind the standing leg's knee. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes. Feel that stretch in the front of your hip flexors. Lift directly to the side, like gonna kick somebody. Rotate that hip so the knee is high, ankle is down, and then finish with the knee up in the sky in front of you. Let's go. 9 more. Back, side, ankle, knee, back, side, ankle, knee. I think that's 3, 4, 5. Ooh, I'm off balance. If you are off balance, I recommend you go ahead and grab something so you can focus your efforts on working those leg muscles. Balance is awesome. It's really good to work on, but you can work on balance at any time. Hip cars are a real pain in the butt, so they're more fun to do together. All right, I think that's 9. That is 10. Whew. All right, one more leg. We're almost done with hip cars. Let's do it. Back, side, ankle. Ooh, knee. I must be getting tired because I'm really off balance all of a sudden. Back, side, ankle, knee. Luckily, I have a wall. Side, ankle, knee. Back, side, ankle, knee. Back, side, ankle, knee. Back, side, ankle, knee. I think that's 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Whew. Those are the hip cars. We're done with those. We're going to move on into warm-up exercise number 2. So I do these once a month, and I wonder if it's a waste of time. It's a really good thing to wonder. I can tell you, I've been doing these basically daily for about a year, and they take about, I don't know, if I spend a bunch of time explaining it, right, and highlighting all the little pieces to make sure you get the reminder to lift and really work those muscles, it takes a little bit longer, but we started at most 4 minutes ago, and if you really focused on getting them done, you can probably get each side done about 3 seconds per rotation, 30 seconds on each side. It could take 2 minutes. For the amount of exercise that 2 minutes takes, you can probably go back into my video history. If you go back on, where would that be? Probably on Instagram, because that's the oldest platform for me. And look at where my hip cars were back then to where they are now. Massive difference. And all I've done is 2 minutes a day, right? You can spend a lot more time doing really hard stuff to also increase range of motion and do stuff. But as a warm up, it serves double duty, right? You're not training it necessarily all that hard. You're doing something else that's a little bit more cool than throwing your hips around in circles, because we're prioritizing the side splits. But as a warm up with 2 minutes, you can still make a whole bunch of progress. It's slow, but it's not so mentally taxing to go, oh, I have to really, really work my hips today. So, you can decide what format and what style you want to work out on those legs and those hips. And if it makes sense, keep doing whichever one you enjoy the most. All right, let's see. Sheena with the support, I love it. And let's scroll. I don't think there's anything else in the comments. Let's continue. Oh, on YouTube, actually, someone says, are you a fitness instructor? I think that would be a very generous statement, but yes, I guess that's what I'm doing right now. We do 40-ish minutes of live side split stretching every single day to practice consistency and to build a little bit of community on the internet. It's really hard to be consistent doing hard things, so I try to make it a little bit easier, but bring good vibes, making it consistent at a certain time every single day, so it's easier for you to come in and hang out, and we can do some hard stuff together. Cool. All right, let's continue. We are doing some elephant walks, and they look a little bit like this. It's basically a hamstring stretch. We're going to fold our belly button down to the thighs, and we're just going to relax here. You don't have to push super hard. You don't have to bounce. You don't have to be aggressive. Not yet. This is the warm-up. And I want you to start slowly shifting your weight by bending one knee at a time. So one knee is straight, one knee is bent. Cool. And we're going to just shift our weight from side to side. If you keep on focusing on bringing your belly button down while you do this, you'll start really feeling that hamstring sort of almost grinding away and getting a little bit smoother in the movement slowly. So we're just gonna do a couple of seconds of this, get the hamstrings nice and warm, feeling good. If you sort of pop your weight into a hip a little bit, you might start feeling your glutes get a little bit of stretch, the side hip getting a little bit of a stretch when you're shifting your weight, and all those things are good. They're just loosening up your hips, stretching out your glutes, getting nice and deep into those muscles. Just remember to breathe and focus on bringing your belly button down. All right. Once you've done a couple of these, it's feeling a little bit smoother. You've kind of shaken your butt out a little bit, getting a little bit of bonus here in the obliques. Then let's add some twisting in the spine. All right. So I'm gonna get into that same position. My left knee is bent, my right leg is straight. I'm using my left hand to grab my right leg, so across the body. Twist and rotate. So my right hand is pointing up into the sky. My chest is pointing to the right. Look at those fingers with your face, your eyeball, so your neck is also rotating, and come on down. Now let's do the same on the other side. Now my right leg is bent, my left leg is straight, my right hand is grabbing my left leg. Open the chest to the left, left hand up in the air. Look at that left hand with your eyes so that your neck is also rotating to the left, and try to bring your belly button down. Feel that hamstring stretch, and back to where we started. That is one rep. Let's do 5 to 10 of these, however many you want to do, and then we will be done with this. Remember, the twisting is awesome, but we still want to feel a little bit of that hamstring stretch. So when you get here, exhale, bring the belly button down, and keep going. I think that's 3. I think I'm starting number 4, and this is 5. I think I said 5 to 10. So I'll do something right in the middle. I'll do 8, 6, 7, and 8. Whew. If you want to do 10, do the 10. I talk a lot, explain things, so you got plenty of time. All right, we are done with the second warm-up exercise. Let's get ready for warm-up exercise number 3. We're doing the Cossack switch. And it looks a little bit like this. We're going to point our toes out about 30 to 40 degrees that way. And we're going to open up the legs pretty wide, maybe 3 times our hips width. And we're going to drop down to one side. I want you to keep your knees pointing in the same direction as your toes. And I want them to travel in that same line the whole time. And I want you to get deep into that position. I want you to feel the pressure in the front of your ankle where it's folding. I want you to feel the stretch in the Achilles tendon and then the calf where you're folding forward and feeling that. And in the hip, it's gonna feel like a lot of pressure right here. If you want to reduce the pressure, you can always put your elbow down, give your upper back a little bit of support, and we're just gonna chill here for a little bit. Sink deeper into that position. Try to keep your heel pretty low to the ground or directly on the floor. And then on this side, I want you to try to get your heel down, your toes up, and your knees pointing up. This is called external leg rotation. We're going to need it for the side splits later. And that's about as much as I'm going to get into it right now. So, we found here on this side for a little bit. I want you to slowly transition to the other side. You can use your hands to walk yourself over and try to do the same on this side. Again, I want your knees to be pointing in the same direction as your toes are pointing. Okay, so traveling in that straight line. And you can do that whether or not your knee is pointing right in front, if your knee is a little bit more open, or if your knee is like really open that way. It's totally possible for your knee and your toes to travel in the same line. I didn't just lose balance trying to twist my legs around and show you things. All right, other leg, heel is down, toes are up, knees are up. Okay, let's sit and hang out in this position a little bit. Wow, I catch my breath. Next, from here, we're going to start moving from side to side. And it's going to start looking like this. To make it easier on yourself, you can put your hands down, you can sort of lean forward, and that will reduce the weight in your hips. Go ahead and start with that. We are doing 10 rounds from side to side. Usually, we sit longer in that first position, but I want to see if just doing a couple more reps is just as good. If we start nice and gentle. Now that you've done a couple of these going from side to side with some hand support, I want you to attempt to figure out if you can do them without hand support. And if you can, amazing. Do a couple more of these. And next, I want you to try to straighten out your posture. So keep your chest up high. It's going to shift your balance a little bit. I want you to stick your arms out in front of you and keep going. See if you're able to keep going from side to side. I have honestly completely lost track of how many of these we've done, but I want you to, on the next one, see if you can sink really deep into that stretch and see if you've warmed up so that you have more range of motion in your hips, in your ankle, your knee. Maybe previously you weren't able to keep your heel down. Now you can keep your heel down. That would be a good sign of progress. I have definitely gotten a little bit more of that. Okay, I think at this point we've probably done 10. So let's go ahead and move on into the stretches. Whew. Let me know in the comments if you feel a bit more warmed up, if the Cossack switches are feeling more smooth, and I'm gonna drink a little bit of water. I don't know what happened. Why I'm so out of breath today. What was the long thing that I must have said to run out of breath like this? It is definitely split time. I mean, sort of. we got a couple more warm ups, a couple more stretches before the splits, but we are doing a whole entire splits workout right now. So everybody, go grab your drinks, take a quick sip. Hopefully they're not alcoholic, because that I don't think would help you. And we need a cushion for the hamstring stretch we're about to do, because we're going to be on one knee, and that knee's going to be carrying a lot of weight while we do the hamstring stretch. All right. Thank you, Mopor, reminding me to take a rest and drink some water while streaming. I appreciate it. Pork Chop says, so is this a nighttime routine? This is not necessarily a nighttime routine. It is pretty early in the morning for me, but I know you're in the US probably, so it can be a nighttime routine. I would probably recommend you keep it at least an hour or two before bed so your body can really relax afterwards. Because when you're doing the warm-up exercises, you're doing some of the more intense stuff, there's definitely going to be some heart racing, energy generating sort of like activity there. And that's not going to help you sleep, not immediately, but we're going to stretch some muscles. Hopefully, we're going to relax a little bit in some of those stretches. They're not going to be 100% the most intense thing you've ever experienced. And that might help get you in the mood and ready for sleep. All right. What are the benefits of a split? Well, the split by itself, other than looking really cool, probably doesn't benefit you all that much. Probably getting 70% of the way to the split is where most of the value comes from. After that, it's just looking cool and doing a couple of cool moves. But if you're gonna train to get 70% of the way, then you can go full send and you can look really cool while you do it, right? So that's the important thing. If you like it, if you think it looks cool, you should do it. What else? I think for most of the split stuff, it's all about hip mobility. It's about moving the hips well. So you can do things like take a ginormous step on like a tabletop and then whoosh, come up, right? It's like doing things where if you're in a weird position for a while that you're not used to, like in a deep squat, your legs won't go numb and then you have to like sit down because you can't move for a while because your hips just don't work. It's for those moments when you want to play with your pet on the floor, or you want to play with your grandkids on the floor, and you have to stay pretty low for a while, pretty sort of hunched over. And you want to be able to do that without feeling like you aged 100 years on the floor and now you're like, oh, okay, I'm up. That's what hip mobility is for. And The other thing hip mobility is really good for is as you get older, the number one cause of death is pretty much falling, right? So the better you can move, the faster you can get into positions that you are typically uncomfortable with and not get injured, the easier it is for you to live a longer life. That's like a really gruesome, dark way of talking about it. But at the end of the day, it's all about moving well. And moving well means so many different things, right? Like moving well to hang out with the people you love, the things you love, doing cool stuff. You know, maybe all you care about is gardening because that's your hobby. And you spend a lot of time hunched over. If you had a little bit better hip mobility, maybe you can hang out in different positions where you can do that a little bit better. Maybe you care a lot about biking and hip mobility in the forward direction is really important for generating power or something like that, right? Like everybody's got different needs, and a lot of the time it'll be really hard to suddenly figure out why you need it if you haven't needed it for 70 years and you've just gone through your whole life up until this point. But occasionally you'll just remember, oh, I wish I could do that. And you might associate some of those things with, oh, but I'm old. I can't do that anymore. That's basically I mean, I don't want to be rude, but that's kind of an excuse, right? Like a lot of things that we associate with old age are things that are very, very, very trainable and requires an investment into taking care of that range of motion. And maybe you don't know how to train, maybe you don't want to spend the time training, but a lot of the time, it's not just old age that's keeping you. There's definitely, breaking down that comes with old age, but a lot of that can also be trained and taken care of because that's part of how the body adapts to new tasks and doing things. Cool. If you've never tried to do it, it's unlikely that you're going to be able to do it, right? That's we think that way about every other skill. You're like, can I play the piano? No, I've never tried before. Am I going to be able to play the piano today? Probably not. That's going to be kind of crazy. It's the same with your body trying to do other things. It takes time to learn the brain stuff, actually doing the thing, and it takes time to build the strength and the mobility to do the thing well. So treat everything as a skill that you can learn, and you'll feel much better about trying out new things. Cool? All right, that was a long tangent. Let's get into the hamstring stretch. I hope you're not cooled down too much. And let's go. We're trying to keep the hips squared, the shoulders squared directly forward. We want that knee below us, and we want to stick that leg directly in front. Because of the camera angle, it's going to look like my leg is kind of going off to the side. I promise in real life it's very straight. It's just because I'm really close to the camera. All right, from here, I want you to fold down, bring your belly button down towards that upper thigh leg area, and keep on coming down. Your hamstrings are going to tighten up. They're going to get real tight. They're going to be really uncomfortable. And all I want you to do is take a nice big deep breath in, slowly release, and fold forward. You can just focus on relaxing when you do that. All right, let's do another. In, slowly relax. All right, now that your hamstring muscle is as tight can be, let's work on holding that stretch for 30 seconds and applying steady pressure. Bring your belly button down. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26. If your knee is starting to feel pain, you can slightly bend the knee, bring the chest lower first, and then try to straighten out instead of straightening the leg and bringing your chest down directly. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, hamstring stretch 1 is done. Switch over to the other side. Let's crank these out. Hips facing forward. Almost sort of tuck the leg underneath your butt, right? Like you can extend this way, but I want you to pull it in, contract it. And fold forward, bring the belly button down to the thigh. Take a couple of nice big deep breaths, relax into that stretch. In, out. One more, in, out. And once your hamstring is super tight, let's start 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27. Again, if your knees are slightly achy, you can bend the knee. Focus on bringing your chest down to the leg first, and then focus on extending the leg so that it's straight after. I'm doing that right now. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, coming out of that stretch, get rid of the cushion. You don't need it anymore. Just don't throw it too aggressively. We are done with the first of our 5 stretches. The first one is the hamstring stretch. Is that a live class or on TikTok? Misha says, that's amazing. I'm going to Reformation Pilates and there's a lady who's 84. That is amazing. Yeah, it's incredible what people are capable of when they really work on it, right? And we are so impressed by people who do work on it. And it's because we don't associate the two together, but it's totally possible. It's totally possible. Okay. Sheena says, the warm-up and stretching is honestly pretty good cardio for me. I'm sweating like crazy. Yeah, I agree. Me too. Okay, let's get into stretch number 2. We're going to get into the butterfly, and it's going to look a little bit like this. Instead of taking time talking about why my version or the version we're going to do is better, we're just going to get right into it. I want you to put your hips, your shoulder, your head on the wall, and it'll help you keep a nice straight posture on your back. You might want to remove your socks if the floor is slippery, because I couldn't hold this leg in position. But pull your feet together, pull your legs in towards your hips, and bring your knees down to the ground. The goal of this stretch is to open up the groin. The way to open the groin is to bring the knees to the ground when your feet are here in this position. All right, so I want you to use your muscles, because at the end of the day, we want to strengthen muscles so that you can control your positions. All right, in this case, we want to strengthen this. We want to use these outer thigh muscles and the glutes to help open up those hips and bring the knees to the ground. So let's start with that. And you might feel the back of your head pushing pretty hard into the wall. That's basically your body using the wall to help you stay in this upright position. If you weren't on the wall, you might want to fall backwards. And that's not what we want. So thank you all. All right, once the legs are as open as you can using muscle power, I want you to take your hands, push down on your legs, open up those thighs. Now the back of your head, your shoulders should really be feeling a lot of pressure because you're pushing into the wall and pushing into your legs at the same time. That is totally normal. Let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, let the hands go. Oof. If you held that and you're contracting muscles for the whole time, your legs are probably really stiff. Right now, just give them a nice little lift. They'll come back. They'll wake up and let's go. All right, that is the butterfly stretch. If you've never done it quite that way, make it your new thing. Do it that way every single time. I promise it's way more effective than when you sit on the floor and just do it free for all. Especially if you're a little less flexible in some places, like your hamstrings, right? If you sit in this position and you feel like you're gonna fall backwards sometimes because your back is leaning this way, the wall is super helpful for keeping you from leaning. Let's continue into the standing pancake. The next stretch looks a little bit like this. We're opening up our legs nice and wide, we're folding forward with the goal, of bringing your head down in between your legs. If you were seated, then you'd be folding like that. It is really hard to get into that position, so we do it from standing, so that gravity can give us as much support as possible. I like to secure one leg so that only one leg is sliding around. In this case, I like to put this leg against the wall and make it easier on myself by having only this leg doing the sliding. You can figure out how you want to do it. You don't need to have anything if you don't want to, but I definitely recommend you having a little bit more grip on the floor when you are not using the wall to support you. Cool. From here, we want to fold forward, bring the belly button down towards the ground, and if you want, you can stick your butt just a little bit back, sort of decreasing the angle between your legs and your upper body, and that makes it easier to stick your arms out in front to counterbalance. This is a standing pancake stretch. Let's chill here for a little bit, and let's go ahead and start. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24. I want you to imagine the sit bones, the bottoms of your hips pointing directly back, maybe even slightly upwards as you work on this stretch. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, remember to breathe, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, we are done. Put your hands down. Come on back up. Walk your legs in. Shake it out. Relax for a little bit. I'm going to check the chat real quick because I've seen a whole bunch of stuff come through. But I want you to relax those leg muscles. I want you to move around while I do that. All right. Oh, no. Oh, yes, there was a question. Is the Reformer Pilates class a live class, or are you going somewhere physically in person? Ooh, all right. Oh, no, there were no comments. It was just people coming in and following the live. I love it. Okay, let's get into stretch number 4. Stretch number 4 is easy to remember because we're bringing the leg across the body and doing the figure 4. And it looks like that. From here, the goal is to bring our ankle towards our chest, and it can be like so, where the chest comes down to the leg, like in a pigeon stretch. As long as you're feeling the muscles out here in the outside of the hip, sort of on the side of the glute stretching, we are golden. That's all we care about. All right. The other way to do this, other than a pigeon stretch, which is more yogi-ish, is called the figure 4. I think we did figure 4 yesterday, so let's do the pigeon stretch today. The pigeon looks a little bit like this. Our goal is to cross that leg across our body. Now I want you to sort of pick the midpoint between your knee and your ankle. I want you to bring the middle of your chest, so in between your pectoral muscles, and bring that down towards that point. It's not a perfect way to do this because some people have really long legs, but it's okay. This is the rough benchmark for you to get down. All right, that is the gist of it. This back leg, you got choices. If you're not super flexible and you're struggling with keeping the leg straight behind you, that's okay. You can keep that leg slightly bent and just focus on what you can do, which is this stretch over here. What else? If you're relaxing too much in the pigeon, your ankle will start coming in and tucking in, and it's a very different stretch. It feels way easier, it feels way more comfortable, and that's not what we want. So I want you to try to keep your ankle pushed away from you. That's it. Let's get started. Again, midpoint of the leg, midpoint of the chest. Let's go ahead and bring it down. Try to keep the hips low because if you start bringing your head really down, but your hips come up, that kind of defeats the point. Remember to breathe. And let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, right, that is one side. One other thing I forgot to mention while we get into the other side is if you are struggling to get this low, that's totally okay. That's part of the process. If you are higher up over here, and as long as you're still feeling the stretch in this outer glute, outer hip area, that is totally fine. In fact, I would argue that I feel almost just as much stretch up here as I do over here. And I think most of it is just this back relaxing because the hip isn't actually changing angle very much. So go ahead, let's get into that last position. And then we're gonna get into our side splits right after this. All right, fold forward, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. Remember, push that ankle away if it's getting too comfortable. 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17. Imagine pushing your belly button towards the ground. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, let's go. Come on out of that stretch. Let me know if telling you to push your belly button towards the ground changed anything, if you suddenly felt your butt stretching out a little bit more. And we're basically ready for some side splits, y'all. Side split time. Mishmash Gulash says it's a live class in person. Lovely. Enjoy. I thought you were already gone, but I appreciate that you took the time to answer. I hope you enjoy it. Ganowski says, it helped me get deeper. Lovely. I was thinking, what can I say to get the actual thing that we want to fold forward? And I was like, I've been using this expression literally the whole entire time. Bring your belly button closer to the ground. And hopefully, I mean, it helped at least one person. So I think that's a win. All right, let's get into our side splits. Side splits, we're going to start with one round of 30 seconds, but we're going to do 3 rounds of 30 seconds. And we're going to take a couple of seconds in between, maybe longer than 30 seconds in between, to shake out, relax. And the goal is to make sure that you're reset as much as possible, you're as relaxed as possible in between each of the rounds to help you get into a deeper side split. So, deeper side split. There's a couple of things. The safer and more secure that you feel while doing them, the easier it will be for you to relax. And at the end of the day, stretching is about letting the muscles relax, releasing the tension in the muscles, because it's the bicep going, "Argh!" And we're pushing really hard to try and get the muscle from doing that. But instead of my arm, that's easy to demonstrate, it's the legs doing the side splits. Cool. So one of the things for safety is I want you to get really close to this wall. And that's because if you start falling forward, it's easy enough to catch yourself with your hand, not a big deal. When you start falling backwards, when you oh no, a little too far, and you start falling backwards. Ugh. If you're really close to the wall's there to catch you. Maybe your butt will hit first, maybe your shoulder will hit first, maybe your back. Whoops. Your back will hit first, and that's great. It's better than you falling all the way back, being scared you're gonna smash your butt into the ground and being all afraid. Cool? So let's get real close to that wall. I recommend 8 to 12 inches, which is about a footprint worth of distance for most people, and you're good to go. All right, from here, let's open up those legs nice and wide, focusing on getting the position without feeling pain at the hips. When you're almost feeling something that's uncomfortable, fold forward, put your hands down. We're doing this sort of push-up looking position because we want to be in a strong position to take weight off of our feet, putting weight into our hands. We are moving the weight out of our feet so that we can make it easier to externally rotate them, which means your heels are down, your toes are up, and your knees are up. When you are in this position, it rotates your thigh bone a little bit, and it gets some of the nubbies that come out of your thigh bone from smashing into your hips, and that lets you get deeper into the side splits. Anyways, you're probably in a very uncomfortable position because it's our first side split of the day, so let's walk those hands back as far as you can. Maybe it won't be very far, and do that last little bit of a wiggle to see if you get a tiny little bit more out of the stretch, and we'll start our 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. We're almost done. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, walk those hands forward. Pull your legs back in. Oh, shake them out. Relax. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. What we're doing is the part where I said we're going to relax for maybe longer than 30 seconds to help reset the legs so you can get back into a deeper stretch next time. And what that means is we're going to shake out the legs. Shake, 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 flop, 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 wiggle, 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 wiggle. And we do this because this is one of the quickest ways to forcefully make sure we are relaxed. If our legs are not relaxed, they wouldn't move very quickly, they wouldn't flop, they wouldn't shake. They would be like, I'm a robot. And that helps us in no way at all. So, shake it out. Wiggle, relax, noodle, 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 noodle. And once your legs are starting to feel more or less normal, let's do a couple of checks to make sure all our joints are working well. If you shaked really aggressively, maybe you've already done it by accident, but let's be thorough about this and do our hip circles. Some high knees to make sure the hip flexors are good. Do a little bit of a bend, mini squat. Make sure you can put pressure into the knee and put pressure into the ankle. You can come up onto your toesies. I didn't mean to jump around. That makes it a little bit more intense than it needs to be. But come onto your toesies. Make sure you got balance and all those joints, hip down, are working well. All right. That's it for round one. Let's keep shaking, keep relaxing for just a second while we prepare mentally to get into round two of side splits. If you are having fun, if you are enjoying the good vibes, I hope you'll consider hitting follow, hit subscribe. We do this every day to practice consistency. Every day right now means 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. And we do this every day to, like I said, build consistency. But it's much more likely more people will keep coming back if it's the same time every day. So we build a little bit of community. People who have the same goals as you to get better hip mobility, to move a little bit better. People who want to do the side splits. So you got a cute little community building with good vibes and good people. Hopefully, my goal is that makes it a lot easier for you to keep coming back and train with us so that you can get a whole bunch deeper into your side split goals. And that's my goal. That's what I want from this. My main goal is that a whole bunch of people keep on practicing and get better at things, right? The most important quality here is consistency. And then the second goal, the fun one, is I want to be able to get the side splits. So that's what I'm here for. I hope that sounds fun. I hope that's something that you want. I hope the vibes are good. You're having fun. You're learning some stuff. And I hope to see you tomorrow. All right, let's get into round two. Same thing. Let's get close to that wall. About one step away. Open up those legs nice and wide. And let's go. Fold at the hips. Put your hands down like you're doing a push-up. That puts some of the pressure into your hands, so it takes it off your feet so that your feet can do this. Your heels are down, your toes are up, and your knees are pointing up. Cool? Open up those legs, give them a second to get deeper into that stretch. You should feel a lot better now in the second round than that first round. Maybe you have a little bit more control. Maybe it's less intense. Walk those hands back towards your hips and keep breathing. Nice and gentle. Do a little bit of a shake from side to side. See if you can break that last little bit of friction holding your feet back. And we are there. We are there. It's time. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. Remember to breathe nice and slow. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. Walk those hands forward. Pull your legs in. Take a break if you need to. Kneel on the ground. Breathe. Okay, let's get up. Let's do the shakes. Shaky shakes. And grunt if you need to. I love grunting. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Shake, 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 shake. Noodle, 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 noodle. Relax those legs. Relax those arms. Maybe the arms didn't work as hard as the legs. They didn't suffer quite as much, but they are flexed, holding your body weight up, helping you suffer less in that stretch. So give them a little bit of love too. Shake them out. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Noodle, 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 noodle. And once your legs are starting to feel more or less normal, let's do our quick checks. Some hip circles. And what am I missing? High knees. Work those hip flexors. Do that mini squat to make sure you can put pressure into your knees fine, put pressure into your ankles fine. Come up on your toes to check the balance and make sure your feet, bones, and muscles are all fine. We usually just do the sort of folding forward, going back joints. But if you want to work on your ankles and stretch them out a little bit this way, that way, something like this, that's fine. Add those in. Okay. It's almost time. It's almost time for the last round of side splits. But I really want you to be fully relaxed and loose for the last round. So let's do a little tiny bit more shaking. Really slow down that breath. Relax. And let's get into the third round. I know some messages came in. I will get to that later. Let's do the third round of side splits first. It's real close to that wall behind us so that if we fall backwards, the wall is there to catch you. Open up those legs, nice and wide. Fold forward, put your hands down. Maybe you're already wiggling a little bit, seeing how deep you can get in this position. Awesome. Externally rotate your legs so that your toes are pointing up, your knees are up, and your heel is down. Walk your hands back towards your hips so you're seated a little bit more upright. And do a little wiggle from side to side. You see if you can break that last little bit of friction, holding your legs back. And once you are here, we are ready for the third and final side split. One thing I want you to add today is to really try to fold forward. Try to bring your belly button down towards the ground. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. We're more than halfway. Keep breathing nice and slow. Relax into the stretch. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, crawl forward. Crawl your arms forward. Bring your legs in. Relax, kneel, breathe, chill for a little bit. Okay, let's get back into standing. And if you're trying to do this as a pre-bed routine, then you can keep it chill, keep it light. We don't need to up the energy again. Just shake, wiggle, relax, and keep shaking, keep wiggling, keep relaxing. I know this isn't exactly the low intensity pre-sleep thing, but we need your muscles to relax. So this might be the fastest way to get there. Give them a nice wiggle, a little bit of the shake. Maybe if you want, do some dance moves, do some stanky leg. And once your legs are feeling okay, let's add a bit of the quick body check things that we do. Hip circles, high knees. We'll pop into that mini squat. Put that pressure in the knees, put the pressure in the ankles. Come into a deep squat if you want. This is our last one. Nobody's going to stop you from doing anything. Come up onto those toesies if you can. And once you've done all those things, do whatever else you need to do to help you get comfortable. I know, for example, that in the hip circles, I haven't been focusing on them recently, but right here at the edge of that left and right hip, when I do the hip circles, those muscles are quite sensitive, so I'm going to spend a couple extra seconds there to help them feel a little bit better. And with that, we are all done. I'm going to grab some yoga blocks to use as stools, and we are done. That lean in kicked my butt. Is that the lean in during the last and final side split where I was like really fold forward? Because, yeah, it hurts. That's why I, at the very, very, very end. Over here on YouTube, Pork Chop Black says movement is medicine. I agree. Movement is really good at helping you stay and feel youthful. And moving well is one of those things that you love it when you see it, right? Like you see how impressive it is for a super advanced athlete like at the Olympics, because everybody watches, Olympic gymnastics and Olympic like sprinting, right? Like those are the two sports everybody watches. Maybe Olympic swimming because Michael Phelps was huge, and um, you love it when you see incredible physical capability, and it's one of those things where you're like, wow, that's incredible that humans can do that type of stuff, and I hope that it gives you encouragement that this is an Olympic athlete, right? They spend their whole entire childhood training. If you got like 5% as athletic as they are, you'd be like in the top 80% of the world just by default. Like you can aim for top 5%, and you or 5% of an Olympic athlete, and you'd be in really good shape. Cool. All right. Let's see what else we got in the chat back on TikTok. There's only one smiley face. Welcome back. It's good to see you. I know you don't comment super often, but I do see in the stats afterwards that you're here a lot. So thank you for being here, and I hope you're enjoying the lives. And let's see. Sheena says the cue to really bring the belly button towards the ground helped her get deeper as well. Lovely. Sheena says, thanks. I'm nowhere near the side splits, but I really enjoy the warm-ups and stretching. That's totally okay. Everybody's got to start somewhere. I've been doing this for a year, and I'm telling you, I started somewhere. All right. Althea sent roses. Thank you so much. Let's see. I think that is everything. Sheena is heading out. Goodbye, Sheena. See you tomorrow. Everybody's saying goodnight to Sheena. Lulu, it's good to see y'all every single day. I appreciate it that you're here, and I'm so happy that you're practicing consistency. All right, that's it for me for today. We have done 50-ish minutes of live side split stretching, hanging out, sharing good vibes, doing some stretching, teaching about whatever it is, learning about whatever it is. And I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed the good vibes. I hope you enjoyed the community that we're building together. And I hope you come back tomorrow. Cool? Cool. Follow, subscribe, do all those good things. Call to action. I hope to see you tomorrow. How did I learn English? I was born in the US, so I went through the US education system. Therefore, I learned English. Yeah, 3 people left and 9 people left. I think we are wrapping up. I think we have wrapped up for today. So, oh, 1 second. I've got TikTok trying to verify that I'm not a robot and is about to shut down my life. I gotta scroll this puzzle piece into position and boom. All right. That is it for today. Yes, my TikTok pokes that came from YouTube, and I think I responded the best way I could. All right, so let's wrap up for today. Thank you everybody for coming. I hope you have a great evening. I hope you're a little bit more relaxed. I try to tone down that energy towards the end of our side splits in case you are planning to go to bed soon, so that it's a little bit easier to chill out. All right. Have a great evening, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Good night.